So today I was again reading. Today I was again reading. Oh my God! Nothing. She's biting the mic. So today I was again reading Dom Enlightenment, which is the third part of the series. And today was a long session since it was a weekend. And again I just kept reading it. There was a lot of things I found. Today there was a moment where I was reading about React in some article, and it was mentioning something about DOM, and this time in my head it was completely different. This time I was able to look at DOM and its methods in a completely different way. So it was talking about inner HTML and the methods like append child and everything. This time I didn't look at it the way I used to look at them before, and this time I looked at them differently. Like I was able to imagine the methods working differently. So it was a revelation. It was a good moment to have after you're reading about DOM. Now you are understanding a little bit more about how these methods are used, and wherever they are used, you see them, at least I see them being implemented in a different way, or why they were implemented. I also read about node collections, which is I was stupidly spending so much time understanding what that is. I was googling it and a bunch of stuff, but in the end, I just realized that those are just collection of nodes. That is it. Whatever you get by get element by ID, get element by class name, it is just collection of that. Nothing more than that. Like it is just collection of nodes which can be formed like by running different methods. Uh, but this collection of method is not a array. At least that is what is written in the book. It's not a JavaScript array. It's a collection, and we have to convert it into an array by using array.from. Or in the book, they were given some old methods, and also there was a note giving new this thing. There are other ways to do it, which is array.from. Uh, there are so I also read about there are multiple ways to traverse a DOM tree, which were like parent to child to parent, child to sibling, and all that. Um, or like when you're so from one node you can get relation to different nodes. For example, if you are in one child, you can get what parent it was, and who is the next sibling, and all the data you can get. I was also practicing VIM today, and I learned much more commands. So generally, I used to do just VIM tutor or new VIM tutor while practicing. But this time, I was like, I'll go to a Vim cheat sheet and just try to use all the commands there were. Some notables were ones like I was able to use fx, tx, capital F, capital Tx, and semicolon and comma to traverse between F and T, which I feel like I'll use a bunch more. What is like diw, which is delete in Word or something like that. So basically, if you are in a Word, then you can select, delete, change, or anything, the whole word itself, rather than just having to go into visual mode, select, and everything, which is a pretty good thing. Just the same thing can be applied for if you're between air quotes or I don't know, parenthesis or anything like that. So any operation will be applied to that. So I word is pretty useful. I character is pretty useful. I found that. So when you're in an insert mode, and I have felt this situation long, like multiple times, where when I'm in insert mode and I want to run an operation which is an operation from normal mode, I have to like escape and then run operation, then again go back into insert mode. But I found a way which is using Control O and run the operation, which is very useful. I'll probably use it more. Yeah. So that a bunch of other ones also I learned. Um, and also today when I was reading about DOM and everything in the book, and it just clicked how HTML works for me. And so basically, HTML is a live document, and that live document keeps on changing and everything. And That's it, right? HTML is basically that. The whole page is rendered by a structural thing. and that document, that HTML structure keeps on updating. I know it sounds pretty simple, but in my head, I don't know if I'm able to explain it, but now it makes much more sense how HTML is treated by the browser and how it generally lives in a browser. Uh, so I'll try to explain it better. So basically, the HTML file, the document, is stored in the memory, and the memory might not be the right place, but it is stored in the memory for now. And basically, what happens is that whenever the DOM is updated and anything, this live document, this live.html document type HTML keeps on updating, and that is what is reflected on the home screen of the client. So and it clicked in a different way. Like in my head now, it is much more clear uh, how and where DOM lives. Before it was very blurry. Key. Okay, there is a document, there is a DOM, but where does it live and all that. So now it is very much clear. I'll try to explain it better next time, but currently that's what I can think of. Key, how to tell do this, but it's difficult to explain. I will read more, probably I'll get more clarity. But things were clicking today. Things like where to use the method, how the methods are used. In an article, it was mentioned that this DOM API was used. I was able to understand why, and how document type HTML works in a browser. I was able to understand. It was an amazing experience. I like that. Also, I felt happy about one more thing today. So eventually, I want to reach a point where I can understand complex code bases such as React. So that is my first milestone, to be in a place where I understand React, which is an amazing library in itself. I want to understand that. That is the whole gist of me understanding how DOM works, JavaScript works, how browsers work, how like anything that is related to React works, anything that is used in React. I want to understand how it works, right? So that is the milestone I want to reach. And today, when I was a bit exhausted with just reading DOM, I just stepped out and started reading articles, how React works, React under the hood, and everything. And I found there are so many articles. There is an article written by a person. Wait, there is an article written by this person which is on pom.us, pomb.us, which tells how to build your own React. Oh my god, my mind was blown. The person has actually explained. I haven't read it, but the person has actually written an article on how to build React. So there are amazing people out there who have written amazing articles. I will go ahead and read it, and eventually my first milestone I want to cover is to just understand how React worked. And again, the same thing. I have been from a generation who uh, has written little to no code in pure JavaScript, HTML, CSS, and have become very comfortable with just writing React. I will step back and write some code in just vanilla JS and HTML so I can understand how some low level progress things works, right? I will get more understanding how reactive programming will work, how to use like DOM APIs more and more, because now I feel like even though I'm learning DOM APIs, also there is this guy who wrote Redux, co-wrote Redux or whatever, like Dan Abramov. I have been following his work not very much, but for the past month or so I've been reading his articles on his blog post called Overreacted, and the simplicity with which this guy explains is just amazing. And the thing is, today I read one of his articles which was explaining his vulnerabilities, where he was telling that there are a bunch of things that even I don't know. So which felt relatable in the sense, not relatable, but I would say a little bit calming in the sense. I was looking at people like Primogen, Theo, Dan Abinov, or whoever, like the tech industry. I don't know most of them, but people who Ben Award is one of them. Who else is there? I don't know, bunch of people are there, right, on tech YouTube who give great articles. Kevin is there who tells about CSS, and I always felt like, can I reach there? But the articles were a little bit calming, understanding there are a lot of gaps, and but still, he has done amazing job, and he was able to give he was able to give a talk on hot module reloading, even like when he was like my age, which is I'm 24, but he like even younger. He was like 2023 when he gave the talk. I was also reading his blog post about his journey in the last decade. Amazing. That guy has given a React conference talk, a Berlin JS talk. Amazing job he has done. I've also went through his first pull request to React, and amazing. like like nice stuff that guy has done, and I guess that's it then, because I feel like I read bunch of DOM stuff today. I went deep into MDN documentation about DOM, and it's pretty late. I was writing what to do next. I was planning how do I reach my goals. Yeah, so that's what I did today. It was a long weekend session. I started off late. That's why I got even late between lunch, dinner. I took some breaks, but yeah, it's around 1 o'clock, and tomorrow I have office at 10, and tomorrow I have to study for 2 hours too. So yeah, so I will do that, and that's for today's update. It was fun.